of what is a true celebration.
Do we have to say goodbye to
France, which is the United States' oldest ally, our first ally, once again taking an extraordinary leadership role in NATO, thanks to the courageous leadership of President Sarkozy. He's courageous on so many fronts, it's hard to keep up. And the energy that he has brought to foreign affairs is something that I think we've all benefited from. So I'm grateful to his partnership. Had it not been for much of his leadership, I think what emerged from the summit would not have been as significant as it was. On the issues that we discussed, whether it's Afghanistan, Iran, Russia, he is continually showing initiative, imagination, creativity in trying to solve problems that have been there for a very long time. And America is not only grateful for the friendship with France, but I personally am grateful to the friendship that we've developed. One that lasts before either of us, that actually developed before either of us were even elected to office. And it has only grown stronger since. So this has been a very productive conversation. I look forward to further productive conversations this evening and tomorrow surrounding NATO's mission. And I'm confident that when the United States and France are acting in concert, that the prospects for peace and prosperity around the world are strengthened. With that, why don't we take a couple of questions? You want to go first?
Bien sûr, je salue Madame Clinton.
Obviously, I would like to salute Hillary Clinton and Mr. Kushner.
Monsieur le Président, vous avez expliqué aux Français que
you explained to the French people that the return of France to the NATO full membership will. Have you received any guarantees from President Obama, for example, about the emergence of a planification and the operation on the ground in autonomous bases?
European caucus within NATO.
As you know, I've always been convinced that the United States and France belong to the same family. We are here in Strasbourg. I love history, and I would like to tell the French people, you should never know what the American democracy has done for us. 6th of June, we will be in Normandy to pray on in the cemetery and to salute the soldiers. This is very significant for our mutual history. During my talks with President Obama, I have full faith in his word and also his intelligence. I have full confidence. President Obama doesn't need me to understand that a strong Europe, that a Europe which has defense at its forefront is the best bet for America. Mr. Obama doesn't want weak allies. He needs people who assume responsibilities and who stand up to the challenges. Of course, that has not been horse trading. Our rejoining NATO command, this is the same vision of the world, of the same family. We don't want to impose our values on anybody, and we do not want others to dictate to us. And also I would like to address the French people. What is extraordinary is that over the past 10 years we've seen soldiers within the NATO who refuse to take part in operations. I would like to be transparent and honest with my compatriots. I would like to shoulder my responsibilities. NATO has been on the ground for the past 60 years. The United States has allies and friends, and it's only perfect that France has friends and allies and stand up together, independent because our choices are choices of conviction.
Well, let me just respond to your question very quickly. NATO is the most successful alliance in modern history. And the basic premise of NATO was that Europe's security was the United States' security, and vice versa. That's its central tenet. That is a pillar of American foreign policy that has been unchanging over the last 60 years. It is something that I'm here to affirm, and with France's reintegration into the highest command structures of NATO, that principle will continue to be upheld. I want to echo what President Sarkozy just said. We want strong allies. We would like to see Europe have much more robust defense capabilities. That's not something we discourage. We're not looking to be the patron of Europe. We're looking to be partners with Europe. And the more capable they are defensively, the more we can act in concert on the shared challenges that we face. And so, one of my messages to our NATO allies is going to be the more capability we see here in Europe, the happier the United States will be, the more effective we will be in coordinating our activities. Okay. Holly Bailey?
Earlier, President Sarkozy talking about having strong allies that own up to responsibilities. President Obama has vowed to close Guantanamo Bay in the next year or so. Would you be willing to take some of the prisoners from there? And President Obama, have you addressed this issue with him?
Again, what I think is that democracy obliges us to speak the truth to the people and be clear. I'm one of those who appreciate the values of the United States. Guantanamo Bay did not conform to the values of the United States. And as far as my idea goes, my way of thinking, I was happy and proud that the United States took the decision which we were waiting for, which is to close this camp. My profound conviction is that we cannot fight terrorism using the method used by the terrorists themselves. We should fight them with the method of democracy. If the President of the United States says, I have decided to close...
You're watching the French President Nicolas Sarkozy and President Obama there holding a news conference in Strasbourg. We're showing it live. This is BBC World News.
An inmate or a prisoner here, if we are... we should say yes to this demand. We should not condemn the United States because it established this camp and then turn our backs on them because they have decided to close the camp. This is not how we should behave. France has one word, France has one policy, an honest policy which is comparable. We have talked, we have agreed, and it is honest. This is how you should see France.
President Sarkozy has been honest, has been consistent. I made the decision to close Guantanamo because I do not think it makes America safer. In doing so, I've been very clear that we're going to do it carefully. We're going to do it thoughtfully. And in order to do it carefully and thoughtfully, we are going to consult with our allies. And in certain cases, we're going to need help with detainees that may still pose a risk, but we may not be able to repatriate to their countries of origin. And so we have had this discussion. We don't have detailed announcements to make. I just want to express my appreciation to President Sarkozy for being good to his word, as he always is.
Christian Mallard, a question to both presidents. Would you agree to have the Russians join European defense system? And are you expecting the Russians really to exert tough pressures upon Iran to stop the military nuclear program?
You know, why don't I go first on this? I had a terrific meeting, a bilateral meeting during the summit with President Medvedev.